dive deep into like these are the six core pillars that every business I've ever seen that has a scalable, sustainable foundation has dialed in their operations across these six core pillars. If you are lacking in any one of these pillars, you have a shaky house of cards.
There are two different agencies I'm consulting that are like just a hair under 200,000. They're like, in the 175-ish per month kind of
Yep.
zone. And I don't want to name names because like I've been both of them. So this is not
Yeah,
like
you've been there.
but one of them, it's like what I call the pure chaos agency, where like they're like,
Mm,
man, these people don't know what they're doing, blah blah blah. It's just chaos, stuff's coming at us. They're asking all questions, blah blah blah. And the second one, the meetings are more like, I'm kind of bored here. Like, I don't know. There's
mm.
like, it seems like there's nothing to do in a day. Like, um, is this how it's
Like
supposed to
things
be?
going
Is this normal?
well.
And one of those is because it runs like boring factory like precision where stuff just gets done as it's supposed to. They're doing the same boring things over and over. It's a
Mm,
machine that just keeps producing these results. And as a result, like the owner thinks they're doing something wrong because they have no frame of reference to even, but actually they're like really strong operationally. And the other one, they figured out some really smart stuff, the owners, and then as the challenge we all go through is like, how do you get that out of your head so that it can be
yep.
replicated at scale and be done by other people? Well, I'm, taking a selfie on Mount whatever. But
Right.
knowing that when I'm up there, like things are being done as they're supposed to being done. So let's
Yeah.
start with if you don't mind, pillar number one. You mentioned that
Pillar
like
number one.
strategy. Let's talk about how
Yes.
operation shows up as an actual kind of strategy issue, or how those kind of things relate.
Yeah. So pillar one of six, guys. So buckle up. I want to dive deep into like these are the six core pillars that every business I've ever seen that has a scalable, sustainable foundation has dialed in their operations across these six core pillars. If you are lacking in any one of these pillars, you have a shaky house of cards. With all six, you have scalable growth. So pillar number one is strategy, and this is really where we get into the energetic black hole. And I love what like the dichotomy that you just drew between those two businesses. What business two has is a strategy. It feels boring because they're showing up and they're just delivering on the strategy every single day. Business number one is chaos because the visionary has these like the CEO, they've got these incredible ideas. They're throwing these ideas out, but they have no way of reverse engineering those ideas into an actual executable reality. The gap there is strategy. Like you said, anybody can have good ideas, but strategy is actually how disciplined are we when it comes to sticking to those ideas? Like when we set a goal for ourselves, are we actually going to stay the course and stay the path to get there? And have we actually reverse engineered? Cool, we figured out point B, like whatever, we want 500K months, whatever. We figured out point B, but have we actually reverse engineered how we are going to get there? Or are we just shooting in the dark all the time? I call it the spaghetti against the wall strategy.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to come up with a million ideas every week and every month. We're going to throw them against the wall and then we're going to see what works. The problem with it, Frankie, is that your team in that environment is perpetually reactive because there's no way to be proactive if the strategy is changing all the time.
Yeah.
They're super demotivated because every time they show up and they give their all to something, you pivot directions or you change ideas, and then all of their work goes to waste.
Yeah.
And it's super overwhelming because you have a team that's trying to row really hard in 10 directions. And if you have a boat that rows in 10 directions, everybody's working their ass off. People are working really, really hard, but the boat goes nowhere. And that's where we get the energy black hole. Like, you are pouring an insane amount of time and energy. Your team is pouring an insane amount of energy. Why is the business not growing? Why is it not moving? Why are we still at this plateau? It's because you're lacking a single direction and a single focus that you can put all of that energy behind. And when you're constantly pivoting and you lack that clear strategy, all that energy is just getting diluted and being sent in 100 places.
Yeah, which by the way is a normal function of usually when you graduate stages. Like for me, I mean, I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but the best operation stuff I actually learned hadn't was not at all in any agency space. It's from like getting to see the inside of how the top law firms functioned, and then realizing like 95% of this shit is the same as what I'm doing, right? Like they deliver legal services and I deliver marketing services, but other than that one little nuance, like we're doing the same. We both have to onboard, we both have to
Right,
like communicate, we both have to like
right.
build employees teams and systems. Like I feel like the best stuff I learned was there. And you know, one of the things is when you start in stage one, where you're a single solo operator, you can be extremely limber. You can like you can
Yes.
try one idea one week and the next and the next, and that works
Yep.
really, really well as a solo when you can just try things and there you don't have to ask anybody's permission, you don't have to move. But when you got a team of 50 and they see you like showing up to the meeting, like, all right, for the 27th consecutive week, we're gonna do some different shit than last week. And
Yes, exactly.
and I've been that guy. And what you find is
Yep.
like as you mentioned, is that the side effect is your team no, they're not, they don't hate you, but they're very demotivated because they don't feel like they're going anywhere, they don't feel like they're doing anything. And
Yep.
so you
Yep.
know you often have to like scale it down and focus on the less but better. What are the boring things done over and over that get us there? Let's talk pillar number 2, girl. Leadership.
Mm. Uh, this is everyone. So I'm not calling anybody out before we get into this. Let's
All
just
right,
say
call
that.
out me. We can make this an informal thing.
Here's what I'll say. If you are underwhelmed by your team, if you are looking at your team, you're like, God damn, can't these people just think for themselves? Why are they coming to me for everything? Why does it feel like I perpetually have B players? Why am I constantly churning my team out? Let's just look at the data. If you have a problem with one person, then it's probably an issue with that one person. If you are seeing the same thing repeated across your entire team, and every new person that you bring in and every person that you have to fire, you're seeing the same issues again and again and again. There's literally only one common denominator, and it's not your team, it's you.
Clearly them.
Right? We as leaders create the behaviors that we see from our team. And if there's a behavior that you don't like, it is literally your business holding up a mirror and offering you data that says, how am I unintentionally, as a leader, creating this behavior? Literally 80-90% of the businesses that I work with and that I go in and audit have some sort of leadership bottleneck that is trapping the leader, the CEO, in the day-to-day of the business. There is a reason that your team doesn't feel confident answering questions without you. There is a reason that they don't make decisions without you. There is a reason that they go to you for everything. These are things that we create as leaders that we can also, the good news is, take ownership for and then do something about. We can change our behavior, we can evolve so that our team truly is able to operate autonomously without us. If you can't figure that out as a leader, I don't care how good your SOPs are, you are never going to be able to remove yourself from the day-to-day because you've built a team that is dependent on you.
Hey guys, if you like this video, you'll also like my book on Amazon called Beyond the Agency Box, which you can also find by my name, Frankie Finn, and it's got a lot of awesome reviews. And it really just goes deeper on a lot of things we're talking about, everything you need to grow and start a lifestyle agency, from the stages you'll go through to getting clients, to how to create winning offers, to high value deliverables, to wowing clients, to building teams, to building systems, and building a boring factory that's like a 7-figure money machine for you. So if you're interested, I put links for you in the video description, as well as it'll be in the pinned top comment below, and make sure to check those out.